So the first question I'd like to ask is, what is your name?
I'm Kieran Timmins,
What is it that you do?
MMA fighter and a student at the moment.
What is your drive and motivation for the sport?
It's just a passion. Keeps my head on, keeps me straight. Really keeps my life together. I'm very all or nothing. As soon as I stop doing MMA, my whole life kind of unravels a bit.
Amateur MMA rules bout will take place in the lightweight division and will be contested over three-minute rounds. And across the cage, fighting out of the blue corner, he's representing Jinx Gym in Birmingham, England. Please welcome Kieran Timmins.
Riddle gets up, changes it to the armbar. Timmins in trouble. I'm not quite sure. They arm again. Great work by Timmins to escape that.
Just keep that arm really still for me, because if you bend it, it turns it off. Can someone just give me a time? What time is it?
It is 7:36.
7:36. Can someone remember that time for me?
Yeah.
Because I...
So let's talk about the adversities you've gone through so far in terms of like your journey as an amateur fighter. So what's one of the biggest like injuries you suffered so far?
When I dislocated my elbow during a fight.
How did you manage to do that?
The guy was in turtle position, and I went to post on my arm to put the hooks in to take his back, and it freak accident just snapped the wrong way like that completely.
So in terms of like the actual positioning, like would you say that your jiu-jitsu was just based on a certain like mistake, or was it based on like an accident?
Just a pure accident. I was doing the right stuff really to finish the fight, and it's just bad luck.
So would you say that's one of the worst injuries you've faced so far?
Yeah, definitely top 2 or 3 injuries that I've had.
What are the others?
I herniated 3 discs in my neck would probably be the worst one, and then the other one tore me intercostals.
So how did those 2 injuries affected you as a fighter in terms of your career-wise? Did it physically, mentally, like how did it change you?
I did the neck one originally playing rugby, but it took a couple years to heal, so it affected my MMA because when I got an MRI, they showed me my spinal cord, and for the most part it was kind of that thick on the MRI. Then it gets down to a bit when it's just like barely even visible because the fluid that came out of the discs nearly completely severed my spinal cord in half. So obviously the nerves signaling to my upper body were weakened. So when I was like grabbing people and sort of wrestling, grappling exchanges, it was much harder to keep a hold of them because I didn't have that strength.
Okay, so and how long did it take you to recover from this injury?
That I'd say I'm still probably not fully recovered. Every now and then it still gives me problems, and my strength still isn't back to where it was. And it's been about 4 or 5 years since I did it.
Oh wow! So how do you like prepare yourself to go into these next, fighting sessions and training sessions with that bear in mind of this injury you got currently?
I kind of just try to enjoy it, if you know what I mean. And I'm in this to test myself mentally, to prove to myself that I'm strong of mind, and the injuries and the adversity are just an opportunity to prove that even more.
Okay, so you feel like it's kind of like enabled you to be more mentally stronger, like going forward in your career?
Yeah, it's just another obstacle to face, and like a chance to show that and prove that mental toughness.
Okay, so in terms of like mental toughness, are you prepared to go through many more obstacles and adversities and all these injuries in order to get to that position of being in the roster of the UFC later in the future?
Yeah, there's not really anything else in life that I feel there is for me. So there's nothing really that anyone could put in front of me that would stop me from trying. Obviously, failure, I might not be good enough, and that's the only thing that would stop me. But there's not anything that's going to make me quit or give up.
Okay, and in terms of like adversities in real life, like what are the setbacks you've gone through? Have you had anyone tell you that you can't become a UFC fighter or you can't become an MMA fighter?
Yeah, I mean, at the start, it was mostly just family. I'm half Asian, so it's kind of frowned upon in the family to not be a accountant or a doctor, and they all see it to be an unrealistic goal. But in terms of inside the gym, coaches, teammates, training partners, they all see, they're in there every day with me, so they know what level I'm at, and they all believe in me.
So do you feel like at this point now, everything you've accomplished, you kind of proven to your family that this is a possible thing?
Yeah, I think it's getting there. Certainly, I know. Yeah, I feel like once they've actually came to see me fight now, and they kind of understand it, the level that I'm at, and the potential.
Okay. So, in terms of like the support from MMA fighters at the gym, how does that like affect you?
It's very positive. Like especially the people that mean it, like my head coach and mentor, Chris. He doesn't blow smoke. He tells people if he thinks they're not good enough, he tells them because he doesn't want them to waste their lives. He genuinely cares and wants what's best for people. So when people like him say they think I could be world class and in the UFC one day, then it means a lot to me.
Okay, so I think so. Chris's encouragement is, would you say, it's one of the things that kind of puts you in that mental position to feel like you really can go above and beyond?
Definitely, because I do have obviously every journey to do something that's difficult to do. You do have moments of self doubt and moments when you sit there and think, should I really be doing this? Am I going to make it? Should I just quit, give up? But then hearing that from people like him, people that are good enough to do that and they know what the level that you need. They know the level required and they know the level I'm at. And for him to say that he thinks I can do it definitely does encourage me a lot.
So how do you overcome those kind of doubts now that we've been in this situation of lockdown?
I just know that there's no alternative really. I'd rather try and fail than not try because, like I said, I don't think there's anything else for me in life. I don't think there's any other job I could do where I'd really enjoy it and want to do it.
So of all the injuries you've seen in the UFC, we've seen the most horrific one would be Anderson Silva against Chris Weidman when he shattered his leg in the first in the rematch. So do you feel like that itself kind of puts you off, or does it kind of like think, wow, screw it, this is what it is?
Yeah, I can't. It is what it is. Like since I broke my elbow, that's about as bad as it can get. Really, that's pretty similar to what Anderson Silva did, and it didn't bother me. I carried on fighting. I didn't quit the fight. I didn't give up. So now I know that if worse comes to worse, I can take it.
Okay, and to see him come back from that rematch to face someone like Nick Diaz and then go through such a career he's gone through, does that still make you feel more encouraged to pursue your dream as an MMA fighter?
Yeah, especially the when people have done it successfully, like Dustin Poirier had a torn labrum, serious hip surgery, complete reconstruction, then came back, knocked out Conor McGregor. It shows that you can keep going, take time out, get your treatment, take time off, and come back and still be on the top of your game.
So in the future, do you believe that, looking back now to this day, do you feel like you can be that inspiration of, being Dustin Poirier to someone else's Kieran Timmins to overcome adversity?
Certainly would like to be. Yeah, that's a goal of mine. It's something that gets me out of bed in the morning and makes me put a bit more in the gym when things are getting difficult.